Anyone who loves antiques can't help that they feel a thrill when someone brings one special item to the Antique Roadshow, especially when the valuation is extremely high. That's the whole reason we watch. This painting of a scary looking forest, as said by the owner, belonged to her mother. It is an oil painting of aspen trees done by Loren Mosley. Loren Mosley is known for his landscape and figure painting. He started painting at the age of 11, and he is one of the founders of the University of Texas Department of Fine Arts.
This painting was done in 1947. It was exhibited at the Colorado Springs Fine Art Exhibition of Western artists in 1948.
The painting is titled at the back. The unique painting at auction would be worth about $30,000 to $50,000.
No. Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Have you ever heard of the story of the beautiful Beatrice Cenci? Beatrice and her stepmother were continuously abused by her father, and they murdered him. She was a tragic hero who served as a source of inspiration to many.
She was both a heroine as well as a murderess.
An original painting of her was first done by Guido Reni.
Guido Reni, the artist of the original painting on which this is based,
Right.
visited her.
I'm quite sure you think that this is a painting, but it's not. It's a micro mosaic made by Luigi Moglia.
I was amazed that something made from stone or ceramic could actually look like a painting.
These are neither ceramic or stone. These are actually glass.
Ah,
The guest grandmother, who was an antique dealer, had collected this item.
and it used to be in her home. As long as I can remember growing up, it was in our home.
The Moglia signature can be seen on it. The Moglia family made a lot of artwork in mosaic, painting, and also jewelry. How much do you think this item is worth?
The art of micromosaic on this sort of scale, which is actually very, very large for a mosaic, is incredibly rare and incredibly exciting to find on Antiques Roadshow. I would think an insurance valuation of $85,000.
Cool.
This is Lambert the Clown Magician Automation. Its movement is powered by a series of gears, levers, and springs to create a lifelike performance.
He waves his wand 3 times, and reveals a watch.
Automation like Lambert were popular in the 18th and 19th centuries. This piece of art was called a toy by the owner.
This toy was purchased by my grandfather in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
However, it's not a toy. It's an automation, and it's almost like a museum piece. How much do you think it's worth?
In remarkable condition, and I would say on today's market would bring anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000.
Oh my God.
This is a red and white chalk drawing by Richard Cosway. He was the leading portrait miniaturist of the Regency era. He made his first painting of George IV in 1780. This one is a painting of his wife, Maria Cosway. His signature can be seen in the corner of the painting. At auction, this painting would be worth $10,000 to $20,000.
Really? Oh, that's terrific. That means a lot to me because that was the person I inherited from it. It was a very important thing to her, and I was so thrilled to get it from their family.
This log cabin inkwell is a fascinating piece of pottery created by the famous American potter George Orr in the late 19th century. George Orr was known as the Mad Potter of Biloxi. He made a lot of weird and unusual shaped pottery vases and bowls in the late 19th and early 20th century. This unique piece is shaped like a log cabin, complete with windows and a chimney.
His work was so weird that most people didn't like them enough to want to buy him, and he was so weird that most people that wanted to buy him, he wouldn't sell to them anyway. So George Orr was always short on cash.
The guest had acquired it for $400. At the bottom, you will see the die stamp, George Orr designation. What is it worth?
I think today at auction, the value is somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000.
Oh, that's
for
great.
these.
Thank you so much.
What do you think of the video? Give a thumbs up if you like it. It's not every day you get to see a painting by Clyde Connell on the show. Clyde was the guest mother-in-law's sister.
and they moved out to a very rustic cabin out on Lake Bistineau.
And she was a self-taught abstract expressionist. Here are a few of her abstract paintings. She also created some wonderful sculptures. This painting, titled Nightbirds in a Brown Tree, was done in a very personal abstract kind of style.
During the adjustment period from living in this very nice home outside of Shreveport into this very rustic cabin out on Lake Bistineau.
Her signature can be seen on it.
Based on the research I've been able to do, I'd say that a fair auction estimate on this would have to be in the range of between $4,000 and $6,000.
Under the right circumstances, according to the appraiser, the value could be many times higher than $6,000. The guest has a lot of childhood memories with this lamp, and it has been in her family for as long as she can remember. They would call it the brain lamp because of the way it looked. The stand is made of patinated bronze.
This is actually a turtleback tile iridescent glass.
Okay.
And at the bottom, the Tiffany studio mark can be seen. The lamp is circa 1910. In a retail market, the piece would sell for $30,000 to $40,000.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. Kathy, thank you so much. I can't believe it. Wow.
This guest collected this item from his grandparents for just one reason.
This was one of them, and I like this one because he's a smith, and I'm a metallurgist by training, so I like metal work and so on. So this one particularly appealed to me.
It's a German pottery store gnome. Several companies in Germany made these pottery gnomes. They're very realistic and made in the German tradition.
And you can see many of the features you'd find in a German doll, in his face in particular.
It was made for decoration purposes and used as a store display. In the retail market,
it would sell for at least $1,500, and maybe as much as $2,000.
That's something.
This Klinger pocket globe found its way onto the Roadshow. The owner inherited it from his grandmother, who lived in Switzerland. The maker of the globe was Mr. Johann Georg Klinger, a famous German map and globe maker. He was in the business of making globes, and when he died, Karl Abel continued the business as C. Abel Klinger to keep the legacy of the founder. The pocket globe is made to fit into this faux leather box. The cover is beautifully designed with images.
On the bottom of the base, we have the original price sticker, still with the original ink.
Yeah.
If we look very carefully, we see a maker on here.
At auction
today, I would estimate it between $2,000 and $2,500.
Wow.
If you sold it today.
That's great.
One of the youngest collectors on the show came along with an Albert Neuhaus watercolor painting. He got it at an auction in South Jersey for $2. Albert Neuhaus' signature can be seen in the painting. Albert was part of the Hague School group of artists who focused on capturing the Dutch countryside and everyday family life. How much do you think it's worth?
What do you think it might be worth today?
$150.
Do you think the kid's right? Well, he isn't. At auction, the painting will sell between $1,000 to $1,500.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This eye-catching Liechtenstein pin was designed by Roy Lichtenstein in 1968. Roy is one of the founders of American pop art. This pin is a polychrome enamel designed using bold lines, primary colors, and Ben-Day dots.
In the back, in what we call an incised manner, you have Roy Lichtenstein in kind of a facsimile of his signature.
Ben-Day dots are small dots used in the printing process to create shading and texture. Roy Lichtenstein often included it in his artworks. How did the guest get it?
It's a Roy Lichtenstein pin. It was given to me in the 1970s by a very dear aunt and uncle who were collectors of California contemporary art.
The pin at auction is estimated to be between $4,000 to $6,000. Soapstone, also known as steatite, is a soft and easily workable stone. Artists often use it together with whalebone to create intricate sculptures of animals and human figures. You can see the creativity and craftsmanship that went into making this piece of art. It was made by Mark Tungalik. It is an Inuit stone musk ox sculpture made of soapstone, and the horns are made out of whalebone. The owner purchased it at a gift show for $800.
These pieces are selling now in the auction market for about $2,000 to $2,500.
Wonderful.
The treasure is not just in the basket, it is the basket.
I bought it in Northern California around the Eureka area, and I believe it was used for little trinkets maybe.
You can say it's a treasure used to store treasures. It was made by one of the greatest basket makers in North America. Her name is Elizabeth Hickox. Elizabeth has some unique trademarks. Her baskets were extremely finely woven, and the zigzags were always geometric.
Do you know what the yellow is?
I have no idea.
Believe it or not, it's porcupine quill.
Very cool.
Very, very finely woven into the fabric of the basket.
Her work also features the little knob at the top of the basket. In a retail market, this basket would sell for about $5,500.
It's amazing.
It's the treasure is the basket, not just what's inside.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
The guest came along with an iconic collection of posters by the artist Peter Max.
They were a gift to my youngest son from my mother in about 1969 or 70. And he had them all over his room all through high school and college.
In 1969, Peter Max released a series of posters showcasing his signature bold color, cosmic imagery, and pattern.
But back in the 1960s, in sort of the twilight of the hippie era, his work was very, very mainstream, and it was loved by people.
He is popularly known for his vibrant and psychedelic artwork, which was quite popular during the 1960s. These posters are numbered in the lower right-hand corner. At auction, it's valued at $300 to $400. This one is valued at $400 to $600. The one numbered 4 is the most valuable.
The one next to you is the most valuable one, and at auction I would estimate it between $800 and $1,200.
Very nice.
In total, the collection is worth an estimated $1,500 to $2,200. This lady had no idea the value of what she had placed over her stove in her kitchen.
It's been in our family since about 1970. We bought it in Rhode Island. Didn't even realize it was a Picasso until about 5 years ago.
The Medora plate has a unique oval shape and is adorned with Picasso's signature abstract and playful design.
Some are jugs, some are figures, and some are dishes of different shapes. Picasso did a lot of these special editions for the Medora studio.
Pablo Picasso was not only a renowned painter, he was also a skilled ceramicist. The Medora oval plate by Picasso is a fascinating piece.
This tells us that they made 100 of them.
Okay.
And this is number 23 of 100.
The lady had acquired it for about $100, but now it's worth thousands of dollars.
I love you too.
That's fabulous.
That's fabulous.
This lamp was purchased for $125. You're not going to believe how much it's worth.
She said $125.
This stunning piece of art was crafted by the son of the founder of Tiffany Studios, Louis Comfort Tiffany. He is an American decorative artist and designer known for his exceptional craftsmanship and innovative use of stained glass. This Tiffany Studios rose helmet lamp features a gorgeous stained glass shade with an elaborate floral design.
I can count on one hand how many times I've seen this base. It's so unusual. This is a situation where the base is almost as great as the shade, and then are repeated in a slightly different style moving up towards the top of the base. Over the years, the bases and the shades can get separated.
The base has a wonderful Art Nouveau quality, and the design is called Arc and Leaf.
Congratulations.
The finish on the base is an unusual one for a Tiffany studio lamp. It's called the Etched Doré finish.
You would find them in the homes of many of the people who belong to New York society. Oh, I have to give you guys a hug. Isn't it great to get news? Oh.
retail value, a few years later, is worth around $250,000 to $350,000.
Mom had a good eye.
Now that's some price for a lamp. This man has absolutely no idea of the worth of this water painting he brought on the show. He believes it was collected by his great-grandmother on a trip she made to the West. It's a watercolor painting made by Olaf Karl Seltzer, a Danish-born American painter from Great Falls, Montana. Seltzer is famous for his landscape paintings. He was taught how to paint by Charles Russell, a renowned American Western artist. Olaf's signature can be seen on the painting, as well as the date it was created. The painting was made in the earliest part of his artistic career. At auction, this painting would bring in about $8,000 to $12,000.
Wow. Very impressive.
Her love for flowers and bright colors made this guest purchase this painting the minute she set her eyes on it.
For how much again?
It's about $1,400.
$1,400.
Yes.
Right.
It's a painting attributed to Franz Klein, believed to have been one of his early works in the 1930s or 1940s. His signature can be seen at the lower left of the painting. Franz Klein is a widely known abstract expressionist painter. Looking closely at the painting, you would notice the strong backlines used to make the decanter in the glass. This is what Franz Klein is known for. How much do you think this painting is worth?
At auction, as attributed to Franz Klein, I would put in at $5,000 to $7,000 as a conservative estimate. If we got some stronger expertise as a work by Franz Klein, and it could bring $15,000 to $20,000 or more.
This lithograph was designed by Grant DeVolson Wood. It was passed down to the guest by her older sister.
And I think she purchased it in Iowa City when she was doing graduate studies there many years ago.
The lithograph was named Fertility, created in the year 1939, and published by the Associated American Artist Firm in New York. Grant Wood's signature can be seen on it. He is widely known for his painting, The American Gothic. He also made many different lithographs of rural people or Iowa cornfields. What is this Grant Wood painting worth?
A fair replacement value on this, or an insurance value, would be in the neighborhood of $10,000 to $12,000.
Oh my.
So
I'm very surprised.
Ever heard of the Wright brothers? Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright were the first persons to invent and fly the first successful motor-powered airplane. This collection of photographs was given to the guest by a friend of hers. This photo shows the landing of the first airplane to cross from France to Dover, England. Its pilot at the time was a famous French pilot, Blériot.
Third photograph is of the Wright brothers plane in the foreground and another plane modeled after the Wright brothers behind it.
Most of these photos were taken by an unknown picture agency.
On the back you see the stamp. It's called Rapide, and it says reproduction is prohibited, that they're copyrighted.
The photograph in the center that shows the crashing of the Blériot plane is worth $1,000 to $1,500. The photograph of Blériot's plane landing in Dover is worth $1,500 to $3,500. The entire collection of about 40 photographs would be worth an estimated $7,000 to $10,000.
Wow. That's pretty good. I was estimating maybe 200.
Our guest came with a set of plates and ceramic decorative figures. The sets of plates are made of tin-glazed earthenware. These plates date back to 1750. It is believed they were made by Strasbourg or Niederwiller. It imitates the Chinese porcelain. It was made in Europe, and it's quite fragile. They are estimated to be worth 400 to 600 pounds. One would wonder about the worth of these ceramic figures. This one was made by a renowned French artist, Émile Galli. Her signature can be seen on the bottom of the cat.
Hanging around the cat is a dog's medallion, which I think is a lovely idea.
He is famous for his glass and ceramic decorative figures. The guest got it for 70 pounds, and it could be worth around 3,000 to 5,000 pounds. The second ceramic figure is a copy by an unknown artist. The guest got it for 20 pounds, and its worth is 150 to 180 pounds. Take a long look at this item and try to guess what it is. It's actually a rockwood Valentine vase. You will agree with me when I say it has quite an unusual shape for a vase. It was done by the Rockwood Pottery Company of Cincinnati, Ohio.
and designed by an artist named Albert Valentien. An early signature of Rockwood and Valentien can be seen together with the date it was created. At the front of the vase, they had this really sophisticated painting made with different shades of gray. How did the guest come to own this unique piece of art?
This vase was given to my great-grandmother in Cincinnati, Ohio, as a wedding present.
At auction, the vase could be worth $1,000 to $1,500. The owner of this item had a very sentimental story to tell about how this violin came to exist.
My grandfather was picking up coal with his brothers by the train track, and he slipped and fell, and the train cut his foot off.
Because of his disability, he quit being a bricklayer and learned how to make violins. Her siblings wanted nothing to do with this violin, so the guest got it from her mom. How much do you think this violin is worth? The violin is worth $12,000, while the bowl...
In the world of retail, I would value this bowl at $4,000.
Holy Hannah! Wowzer! Shut the front door, girl. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a beautiful bowl.
Wow!
The guest comes along with a folk art painting of Dartmouth College. Dartmouth College is a private Ivy League research college in Hanover, New Hampshire. It was established in 1769 by Eliezer Wheelock. Reed Hall is one of the oldest historic surviving buildings at Dartmouth. It was designed by Ammi B. Young. It can be seen in yellow in this painting, although it is a different color now. Dartmouth Hall can also be seen in white in the painting. The painting would be worth an estimated $8,000 to $12,000 at auction. This piece of furniture was acquired for $100 by the guest at an auction for just one reason.
And I bought it because it's pink.
It is a tufted side chair made by John Jelliff. He was a famous cabinet maker known for making custom-order sophisticated furniture. The chair has specific features. It has the flat crest and his trademark, which is the medallion in the center, which is Christopher Columbus. Anyone who knows John Jelliff furniture can identify it just by looking at the legs.
Again, the way this leg comes down, this is very much a Jelliff hallmark, and a tapering leg, then expanding into this ball foot too. So.
Okay.
The chair is valued at $300 to $500. Our guest displays a one-of-a-kind clock that has been handed down through her family. Her grandfather owned a clock-making firm. When he died, this clock, amongst others, was sold. The father of the guest had to rebid to get the clock back into the family. The clock is French and is said to be a 4-glass clock that dates back to approximately 1885. Upon closer inspection, the clock's outer case gilding has gone green in several spots. The clock is worth £2,000 and will be worth more when the gilding is fixed.
Providing you can get it done by somebody who can get the color correct.
Can you tell me what these are? These are Quito bracelets. It was commonly used by hunters who used bows as their principal weapon.
They are bow guards, and so you would wear it on your left wrist if you were right-handed. When you pull back the bowstring and let the arrow fly, the string could really smack you on the inside of your wrist.
The guest came along with her Navajo and Zuni Quito bracelet collection.
My mom started me on this collection probably 6 or 7 years ago.
They are often made with silver and turquoise. The straps at the back are made of leather. This one is made of silver, jet, coral, and turquoise. A star design can be seen on the strap of this one. The colorful one would sell for $350 to $500 at the retail price. This one is worth $1,500 to $2,500.
That's my favorite by far. And then the one closer to you that's similar, also I think in the neighborhood of $1,500 to $2,000.
Altogether, this collection would be valued at about $6,500 to $7,000.
Wow.
It's a terrific collection. They're just great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for bringing them.
The guest parents bought this beautiful painting in Landskrona Skina about 20 years ago.
This rather scrawly signature is that of an artist called Arthur Hacker.
It was designed by Arthur Hacker, an English painter who has mastered realistic plein air painting. He is popularly known for painting religious scenes and portraits. The item is believed to have been painted during the First World War.
And that is how Arthur Hacker paints. He uses these pure glazes on a white ground. So you get these glowing colors.
The painting is worth between £6,000 to £10,000.
£6,000 to £10,000.
Dear.
English decanter tickets are a type of collectible item that originated in England. They are small paper or cardboard tickets that one often attached to decanters or bottles of spirits or beverages. The guest husband had inherited these collectibles from his grandmother. This decanter ticket was made in the earlier Georgian period. These were made in the 18th century. This is from George IV period. They were made by various English silversmiths, and some of them have their maker mark on them. The more obscure names like Holland and Mountains are more desirable.
Here, it's about 20 pieces. I would say you'd be in the $4,000 to $6,000 range for the collection at auction.
Excellent.
Watch more antique videos on this channel and waste no time to subscribe.